everybody. I might change this filter. I thought it'd be fun to do something different and put on a filter, but I see it's an advertisement down here. I don't know what that is, so let me shut that off just 1 minute here. So we're going to talk today about how to crush. Okay, this is Valentine's, but we'll give it a try just for something fun and different. So we're going to talk about how to crunch the munchies. So I've heard so many, or how to crush the munchies. I've heard so many people complaining that they're binge eating, they're eating too much, they're starting to gain weight. And so I have some tips that might help. Excuse me. Hi, Shamika. So I have some tips that might help. One is determining if you're actually physically hungry or not. So listening to that internal side. So there's a couple ways you can determine that. One, if you've eaten within an hour or two, you're probably not physically hungry. You're probably just craving something, which are two different things. And sometimes if you're eating something that is mostly just really simple carbohydrate and that's it, there's no fat, there's no extra protein in there. Hi, Aunt Clara. Then you could be hungry because that stuff gets digested really, really fast, okay? So determine when the last time you ate, and then also you can test if you're actually hungry or if you're just craving something. You say, if the only thing I could eat was, think of a really healthy food that's not too sweet and not too sugary. So like a turkey sandwich or a piece of steak or maybe a carrot. If you're hungry enough, you would eat that no problem. If those things were available, though, something really healthy that's not too sweet, not too sugary, and you're like, that's really not what I want, then you're probably just having a craving. Hi, Rose. You're probably just having a craving for something sweet or salty. Okay, so that's a great way to determine if you're really hungry or not. Now, another thing that you can do is try to eat about every 4 hours. That way, eat till you're satisfied, not till you're overstuffed, and that's going to help regulate your hunger. Your body runs on biochemicals and hormones that help regulate your hungers. And with that, when you eat every 3 to 4 hours, you're going to have a nice even keel of insulin and cortisol, ghrelin, leptin, all those other things that trigger your hormones and, trigger your hunger. So that can help. And that way you're not famished too. If you go too long without eating, then you're famished. We tend to eat foods that aren't as healthy, and then also we tend to eat too much of something. Volumetrics, you can practice that. So what that is trying to fill your stomach with less calories, but still get that fullness. So a great tip is something low calorie, of course, water. Grains are very low in calorie, but they're high in fiber, they're high in water content, so that can help fill you up without having additional calories. So one thing that might be able to help is if you can get into the habit of having some type of vegetable, preferably maybe a salad, so you can get some variety. Have that with every meal or at least dinner, and your goal is to finish the salad first, then you can eat whatever else you want. Let's say it's a burrito or whatever else you're in the mood for. You will feel fuller once you eat that burrito, so that you don't have 5 burritos. You start feeling full and maybe you'll just have 1. So that way you can still have the treat you want, you can still have the food that you're craving, but you're gonna feel fuller faster. Drinking lots of water prior to a meal can help you eat less during the meal. Taking maybe a fiber supplement can help you feel fuller during your meals. So that's a good tip to stick with. Have the salad and then eat the rest of your meal, and that can help curb binge eating or eating too much. Sleep is also going to be very helpful on managing your hunger and cravings. While you sleep, that's when your body starts to regulate all your hormones, all your biochemicals, and then when everything runs in homeostasis and everything's running normal, you're not going to have an overproduction of cortisol, an overproduction of this, an overproduction production of that, so that those hunger hormones aren't spiking and causing huge cravings or huge binges. So get an adequate amount of sleep, and then staying hydrated. So when we're becoming dehydrated, our body has a signal from the brain that it needs more water, and sometimes we feel thirsty, but sometimes we might feel hungry, especially for something sweet. Because the brain just wants to signal our body to intake something, and even though it wants water, sometimes it also signals the hunger scale. So try to keep adequate amount of water throughout the day. That could help prevent extra cravings, and eating more than you want to for the day. That can really help. So thank you so much for listening to my tricks. I hope that helps. Help manage some of the craving and the hunger that you might get during the day, especially if you're someone trying really hard to manage your weight or just trying to be healthy. Maybe you're somebody that is trying to eat less sugar due to prediabetes or less saturated fats, or do your cholesterol. So some of these tricks might help. Oh, this is another trick that might help. If you're craving something really sweet or really salty, what you can do, let's say you're craving something salty, you can gargle with very intense salt water, and it's going to get to the back of the throat, and you're just going to gargle. It's got to be very intense, and that helps ruin your taste for salt. Same thing with sugar. You want something sweet, dump a bunch of sugar, mix it up into the water, gargle with it a few times. And the way that works is, I don't know if you've ever had a really decadent dessert. I mean, it was just so rich and it was delicious, but you could only have maybe like a couple bites of it because it was just too, and then it kind of ruined your sweet tooth for quite a while. It's the same thing with the salt or the sugar. By gargling in the back of the throat, it helps leave that lingering sugar or salt to where you don't want anymore for a while. So give that a try and let me know how that works. All right, I hope you all have an amazing week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.